Hey guys, so I'm gonna do another response to a PragerU video. I know this is really low-hanging fruit, but what they say in this video is actually really disturbing. Just legitimately disturbing. And you're gonna see pretty quickly why. So after this I'm gonna go back to SJW videos, although I'm gonna do more of these response to more of the right-wing people. So yeah, again, I'm open to suggestions, although I'm still working through a lot of these videos that I've already planned on responding to. So let's just get into the video.
What role should religion play in a free society? More and more people today would answer, none.
They would be right, because it's a free society.
That would not have been the answer of the founders of the United States, the men who fought the American Revolution and wrote the country's Constitution. To them, the issue of religion and freedom were inextricably linked.
Are you sure about that? Because, you know, there's something called the First Amendment, which those people also wrote, and which you guys cite a lot of the time. Have you ever looked at the First Amendment?
You couldn't have freedom without religion. In fact, the political philosophy of the founders necessitated a divine foundation.
Then why did they write the First Amendment?
Thomas Jefferson makes this clear in the Declaration of Independence when he writes that all men are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
Okay, the whole creator thing was just to point out that people inherently have rights. It wasn't to say, oh, religion should play a role in government. And speaking of Thomas Jefferson, and thanks to the person who did this, you know who you are, I'm not going to say their name just for anonymity reasons because I don't know if they want their name said. But somebody actually, who I know online, actually researched this. Thomas Jefferson actually was not religious. He was only a Christian in name, basically. Like, his family was religious, and he was only a Christian in name. So people actually tried to slander him as an atheist so that he would lose the election. But he was legitimately an atheist. He was only a Christian in name. Like, he didn't legitimately believe in a god. This whole, like, oh, Thomas Jefferson until he was religious. No, he really wasn't.
The purpose of government, Jefferson and his compatriots believed, was not to bestow rights. Rather, it was to protect those rights already endowed upon human beings by God. But government isn't enough for a free society.
Okay, yes, I would agree that people do have unalienable rights. However, those rights are not dictated by a god. Those rights are just dictated by humanity, by common sense. Like, we don't kill people, and PragerU has another video on this saying, oh, you know, the reason why we don't kill people is because God says so. No, the reason we don't kill people is because we know that killing is wrong.
A moral people is also required. That is, a people moral enough to police itself. Virtue or morality, George Washington observed, is a necessary spring of popular government.
Okay, yes, virtue or morality is essentially government. However, that has nothing to do with religion. Where did George Washington say anything about religion? Where are you getting this from?
Thus, for the founders, liberty was not merely the ability to do what one wanted. It came with moral demands and boundaries. They all accepted the rule of life expressed by Benjamin Franklin. Nothing brings more pain than too much pleasure, nothing more bondage than too much liberty. The founders knew that the absolute enemy of freedom was, ironically, a freedom that was absolute and unrestrained.
Is PragerU saying that freedom is slavery? Is PragerU saying that freedom is slavery? Is that what they're saying? Because if that's what they're saying, I mean, if it's something like, oh, anarchy doesn't work, I could get behind that. But I don't think that's what they're saying. I think they're saying that freedom is slavery. I have no response to that.
And where was this restraint going to come from? Their answer was religion.
No, they didn't say that. And even if, okay, let's see, even if the founding fathers were super religious, and in the First Amendment it said religion all over, even if America was found to be a theocracy, that wouldn't make it right, that wouldn't make it moral, that wouldn't make it a good thing, even if the founding fathers said so. Just because the founding fathers said so doesn't make it right.
Which for them, because of when and where they lived, was some variety of Christianity.
So yes, the founding fathers, if they believed in any sort of religion at the time, it would have been Christianity. That is true. However, a lot of the founding fathers either weren't Christian, or even if they were Christian, they did not want to have anything to do with government, Hence the First Amendment. You know, that thing that you keep bringing up whenever you want your freedom of speech? You know, that thing called freedom of religion that you guys also like to bring up, but somehow you go quiet when you go into this whole theocracy thing? You know that thing? Yeah, that thing.
Let divines and philosophers, statesmen and patriots unite, Samuel Adams wrote, in instructing citizens in the art of self-government. In short, of leading them in the study and practice of the exalted virtues of the Christian system.
Okay, that legitimately does sound theocratic. Maybe Samuel Adams, as long as they're not taken out of context, was in favor of religion and government. In that case, he was wrong. He was wrong. Because you shouldn't have religion in government. It has no place in government. I'm sorry, you can believe in whatever religion you want, but it doesn't have any place in government.
The Christian system to which Adams refers is composed of Judeo-Christian values. The values rooted in the Old and New Testaments, both of which were referred to by the founders with equal conviction and frequency.
Notice how he talks about Judeo-Christian values, and seems to put some importance on the founding fathers in Judeo-Christian values. Notice how he talks about Judeo-Christian values, the Old and New Testament, all of that. And you know, not Buddhist values, not Hindu values, not Mormon values or Mormon writings, not, I don't know, Scientology writings. Not any other religion. Nope, it's gotta be the Jews and the Christians. Or specifically the Christians, actually. It's gotta be that very particular religion. Because they're special, not any other religion. Just remember that.
Jefferson, yes, the very same Thomas Jefferson who is so often portrayed as anti-religious.
Because he actually wasn't religious. Like I said before, he was Christian only in name, but you misportray him to fit your narrative.
Confirmed this sentiment in his notes on the state of Virginia, when he asked, "Can the liberties of a nation be thought secure when we have removed their only firm basis, a conviction in the minds of the people that these liberties are the gift of God, and that they are not to be violated but with his wrath?" James Madison likewise affirmed the essential connection between religion and morality. The belief in a God all-powerful, wise, and good is essential to the moral order of the world and to the happiness of man. John Adams believed that the doctrine of a supreme, intelligent, wise, almighty sovereign of the universe, a doctrine he credited to Judaism, was the great essential principle of all morality and consequently of all civilization. And he applied this thinking specifically to the new nation he helped to create. Our Constitution, he said, was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other.
Okay, so maybe these founding fathers, other than Thomas Jefferson, genuinely believed in a God, and genuinely believed that this was somehow essential to the people. Again, this was hundreds of years ago. This was a different time. Maybe they believed in this. But they did not want it incorporated into the government. Because they did not write for it to be incorporated in government. And even if they did, that would not make them right. They are not gods. They are not special, okay? They are not right. Religion has no role in government, okay?
As president, he replied to a letter from university students in a way that would surprise many today. Science, liberty, and religion have an inseparable union. Without their joint influence, no society can be great, flourishing, or happy.
Just because he wrote it doesn't make it right. Sure, maybe you can say, oh, you know, I believe God made this thing, or my gods made this thing, and it happens to correlate with science, sure. But science has no evidence for God or gods, so those things do not go together. And as for the liberty thing, what does that have to do with anything?
Meanwhile, another founder, Alexander Hamilton, looked at the French Revolution and saw something much different. That revolution, unlike the American Revolution, had devolved into violence and chaos. Hamilton believed he understood why. The anti-religious force it unleashed, he wrote, annihilates the foundations of social order and true liberty, confounds all moral distinctions, and substitutes for the mild and beneficent religion of the gospel a gloomy, persecuting, and desolating atheism.
Oh yeah, you know, atheism made the French Revolution. Oh my God.
For the founders, a free society divorced from religion simply could not work and would not survive.
Then why does our society exist? Why are we divorced from religion? Why are we a secular nation? Why are societies like, say, England a secular nation? Why is that?
It is no wonder, then, that in his farewell address, George Washington chastised those who would claim to be patriots and yet undermine the influence of religion. Of all the dispositions and habits which lead to political prosperity, religion and morality are indispensable supports. In vain would that man claim the tribute of patriotism who should labor to subvert these great pillars of human happiness, these firmest props of the duties of men and citizens. The founders did not demand that anyone believe in any particular religion or even in God. Quite the contrary.
Then what was all that you just said about Judeo-Christian values? I don't get it.
But while they understood the value of a secular government, they feared a secular society, one without religion. So should we.
What? What you say? So the government should be secular, but the society shouldn't. So if society all was atheists, which it isn't, 93% or something like that are religious, that would be bad. How?
I'm Joshua Charles, writer and researcher at the Museum of the Bible for Prager University.
Okay, so we made no arguments for why the government or society should be religious. And like I said, this video is actually really dangerous, because if we had a government that was based on religion, it would be a theocracy. And we all know what theocracies do. They become authoritarian. They become oppressive. We see this most prominently in the Middle East, where it's mostly Muslim theocracies, which of course PragerU gets all mad about. But for some reason, if it's a Christian theocracy, that's all good, because the Middle East, they're the wrong religion. But us, we would be the right religion. We would be good. So yeah, that's a really dangerous way of thinking. And first of all, they completely misrepresented the founding fathers, and even if they hadn't, it still wouldn't matter. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say, and there'll be more videos on SJWs, because that's still going to probably be the bulk of my channel, although I'll be going more against these anti-SJWs who've taken it too far kind of channels more frequently. So yeah, that's just more on the future of my channel. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.
Feel the funk blast!